Good evening. Today I really wanted to talk with you about long distance relationship again because it is still a current problem in my situation and in a lot of people's situation. So, what I wanted to discuss about was the unexpected things that happen in a long distance relationship. I don't know about you, but we already had met. I know a lot of long distance relationship, you first start talking on the net and then you meet. We met first and then went into long distance relationship. And so, since we first knew each other in real life, we had a plan. Actually, wait a minute, I can show you. Here you go. We had set a bunch of rules. I'm not really gonna go into details, but we kind of knew what we were going into, knowing what we wanted, what we didn't want, and we had watched, like, especially me, I don't know for him, but I had watched a lot of videos about long distance relationship and blah blah blah. But there are stuff that I was still kind of surprised about, and sometimes they're kind of funny, so I just wanted to talk about it. The first thing is no internet basically equals no fucking life. And when I say that is that when you don't have internet, you're not able to contact your loved one, and therefore you don't feel really good about it. I noticed that if there is no internet, I tend to not want to go to some places. Example, this summer I had a friend contact me and ask me if I wanted to go camping. Well, camping would be fine if it was in Switzerland because I can take my external battery and I have 4G and everything, so that would be fine. But it was in south of France, and I thought, oh, that means I won't have internet because I don't have a SIM card and everything. And I honestly, my first thing in mind was I cannot spend 5 days without being able to contact my boyfriend. So I said no. See what I meant by no internet, no life? If you don't have internet, you feel like you don't want to do it because then 5 days without being able to contact the person you love is just really difficult. Number 2, this one is more specifically about phones. My phone is constantly dead. As I said in a previous video, I am a lucky person and I can call my boyfriend a lot during the day, at least an hour, usually more. But that means my phone is constantly dead and I have to constantly charge it, and sometimes it gets so hot it switches off by itself because Messenger, we call on Messenger uses a lot of battery and it makes my phone really hot. I've been scared because a couple times it was so hot I could literally crack an egg on it and it would cook. I promise. I didn't try. But yeah, so I'm constantly charging my phone. Like every morning I wake up, I use my phone, and then I'm like, oh wait, but he's gonna call me in 2 hours, so I actually charge it for those 2 hours before he calls me, because I do not want my phone to die in the middle of our conversation. Thankfully, I also have an iPad, but I like to call him on my phone because it's better quality. And so yeah, always charging my phone. And I also realized that when we are physically together, we never use our phone. You can check, You can check how much data on the Wi-Fi and like basically internet you've used every day. And for fun, we compared a day where we were in long distance and a day where we were not in long distance. And it's such a huge difference. We are so lucky nowadays to be able to have internet pretty much everywhere, which means that we can contact each other. And I'm really thankful for not living 50 years ago, actually even just 20 years ago, where internet wasn't really a thing, because I really respect people who were not doing long distance relationship at that time. Letters, literal letters, all the time. That was the only thing they had. They could not communicate with each other. So anyways, yes, my phone is constantly dead. Third thing I wasn't really expecting when starting a long distance relationship was how much I organize myself around his schedule. I'm the one who doesn't have as much stuff to do as he does. Therefore, I organize my entire day around his schedule, which means that I wake up at a certain time, which I know that he'll be free, so he can like just call me for a few minutes just to say hello. I finish my activities before 10:30 because he calls me for like 10 minutes or so after work, and then I eat at a certain time because I know that he will call me at 1:30, etc, etc. I give private lessons, English and Japanese private lessons, and I also take those classes after we say goodnight because I want to talk to him all the time. And so yeah, I organize myself around his schedule. I know that it's not really healthy, but also it works really well for us, so yeah. let me know what you do, because I would be interested to know if you also organize yourself around your partner's schedule or if it's just me. The fourth thing was I had seen it all over internet. When you type long distance relationship perks, the first thing that comes is usually freedom. You have a lot of freedom, because usually when you're together, you spend time together, you do things together, you have less time for your friends, for your family, for whatever hobby you have. But in long distance relationships, since you don't really spend a lot of time physically together, you can still organize your day. You do have a lot of time, I do agree, but as I said right earlier, I have a lot of free time, which I choose not to take because I've organized my day according to his, which means that pretty much the whole morning till 3 in the afternoon, I don't really want to be doing anything, scared that he might actually call me earlier or decide that he wants to call me before, or just because I want to spend time with him. So yes, we do have freedom, but also in my case personally, I choose not to see a lot of friends or just do many activities which I can't put on standby when he is still awake. On a similar note, number 5 is feeling bad when you're going outside to meet some friends or whatever, to do something, and knowing that your partner is at home and wants to call you, but you are busy. That happened a few times. Me deciding to go do grocery shopping or whatever and being unable to call. Because of that, I felt extremely bad. I felt like I was a bad girlfriend, and I always try to avoid those kind of situations because they make me feel bad, and then I feel like he feels sad as well. He probably doesn't because, I mean, it's just a few hours, but I do. Personally, I really do. And so yeah, I always feel bad when I organize stuff also with my friends. If, let's say, I decide to organize something with a friend at 1 p.m. My boyfriend usually goes to bed at 3, and between 1 and 3 we call. But if I suddenly choose to see a friend instead, I feel extremely bad that my boyfriend is gonna have only a like 3 minutes call to say goodnight and not a proper discussion or whatever we like to do, watching TV shows or... So yeah, I feel like I'm kind of robbing him of his afternoon, actually it's his evening, his usual evening with me, and so I hate doing it. But I do sometimes. On a similar note, number 6 is feeling bad about going on holidays in a country that is not your partner's country and without the person. I don't know you, but every time I decide to go on holiday, but am not able to go to his country because for whatever reason, I feel extremely bad because we can't have our usual routine, and just simply because I don't have a lot of time to text him. Sometimes I don't even have internet that much, only at the house, but if you go and visit cities and things like that, you don't have internet. So I always try to send him messages even though I don't have internet, and once I do have it, I send them all at once. But it always makes me feel really bad because sometimes we're not able to call when he goes to bed. We are not able to call for extended amount of time since you're visiting and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel extremely bad. And also just, you miss the person because you wish that person was with you visiting those things. And so obviously, yeah, it makes you feel quite bad. Plus the fact that your partner is probably working or probably busy doing something instead of being on holiday, and therefore you feel even more sad. You feel really, really bad for the person because you're doing something fun while the other person is just working and you're not even able to be together. But on a good note, it's quite cool to go visit somewhere, take pictures, and think about the next time you want to go back there, but with your partner. For me, it's always kind of nice. Like I like taking pictures and being like, oh, okay, next time I'm coming, I'll be coming with my partner and I'll go here, 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 here. I like to make plans a lot. Number 7. Well, I never thought I would say that, but I put way too much time and thoughts in gifts because of long distance relationship. I'm not a particularly romantic person, I think I've said that before, but because of the long distance relationship, you're not able to do something romantic. You're not even able to have real dates. You can have virtual dates, but it's really not the same. So I like to put a lot of efforts in my gifts to show the love I have for that person. And yeah, it happens to take a lot of my time. I've started thinking about gifts I want to send him months in advance because, oh, maybe I want to do this or maybe I want to do that. And I mean, long distance relationship gifts are also quite difficult to organize because of the price of just sending a box is always quite pricey, but also what you can and cannot send, and just simply if, for example, if he sends me something, since I'm going to Japan, he can't send me huge things or like big things because otherwise I cannot put it in my luggage when I'm coming to Japan, etc, etc. So yes, I put way too much thinking, way too much thought in my gifts, and sometimes I get a little bit obsessive about it. But who can blame me? I haven't seen him in 11 months. I just want to give him an extra cool present. We are going into the weird, unexpected things. Because the previous ones, well, yeah, you don't really expect them, but they're not that weird. But now I'm going into the weird kind of obsessive, unexpected things that happen when you start a long distance relationship. For example, being super happy about having the same weather in both countries. I don't know why, but every time I ask, oh, what weather is it in Japan? And he goes, oh, it's super sunny. And it's sunny in Switzerland too. I feel so happy because it makes me feel like we are kind at the same place, even though we are not. I don't know, we are experiencing the same thing, and it makes me extremely happy. I know it's weird. Tell me if it does that to you too, but I don't know. I just like asking him how the weather is and knowing that it's the same weather at both sides of the world. It's weird, I know, I told you. Number 9 is also really weird. At least that's what I have been told. You know when you haven't seen your boyfriend or girlfriend in a while and you miss their scent? I kind of have a special closet that, how to say? There's nothing else inside than clothes that I haven't wear since the last time we were together, which means that it has not his scent but his laundry soap scent, and it makes me really nostalgic, and I don't want this scent to disappear, so I don't put those clothes with other clothes that I wear often. And then sometimes when I feel very sad, I will just put one of those scented clothes on and be super happy about it and miss him extra much. Okay, I'm just gonna show you because it's quite funny, but also don't laugh at me. I miss him. Please tell me you do the same thing. Okay, so wait. Here. Those are all the clothes I haven't worn for like, well, 11 months, and they still smell like him. Some of those are even his. This one and this one are his. He gave them to me because I wore them when we were together and he was just really happy about it. And they are not touching with those ones or those ones because those ones are the special scent one. On a other kind of related note, I also keep a lot of things he left in my room when he came to visit me. It's been 2 years ago, by the way. He visited me in Switzerland 2 years ago. Yet, I still have his cigarette butts and his water bottles in my room because every time I see them makes me really happy, and they also have a specific smell. At least the cigarette butts do. I don't smoke. I hate smoking, but he smokes IQOS, and I don't know, the smell is not as horrible as normal cigarettes. And just the smell reminds me of him, so I kept those and the water bottle, 2 of them, which I'm not using, by the way. I mean, after 2 years, please don't use a water bottle. It's disgusting. But yeah, let me show you. Okay, so I have one over here, that's his. I have one over here, that's his water bottle. Over here, it just makes me really happy. Also, it just reminds me of the fact that he did actually come and visit me in Switzerland, because sometimes I just tend to forget about it. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but because every time you meet, it kind of feels like a dream. So having some things in your room that reminds me that it actually happened makes me feel extremely happy. I don't know, it's just a weird thing about long distance relationship, I guess. And a bonus one, which will be number 11. I don't know why I did that, but well. Number 11 is that I tend to hug a lot of things for no apparent reasons, because I just miss hugging him. My cat, every time he's on my bed, I'm like, oh, come here. I just miss hugging him, and so I tend to hug random stuff like plushies and cushions, my dogs, my cats. And just to let you know, I am not a touchy person at all. I don't really enjoy touching people, hugging, but somehow I really miss hugging him, which I really didn't think it would happen. I guess a lot of people with their love language being touch, they would think about it as soon as they start long distance relationship, you know. Like even before, oh, the first thing I'm gonna miss is his hug and his kisses and just being able to touch the person. But for me, as communicate, my love language is communication, spending time with someone, and so touching is really not a problem with me. But since it's been 11 months, somehow now I tend to try and hug random things because I miss him so much. So yeah, this will have been the 10 plus 1 things, unexpected things that happen when you are in a long distance relationship. I have so many more though, but I didn't want the video to be too long. So if you're interested, I can make a part 2, and I hope you stay safe. I love you even though I don't know you. See you! Let me give you a hug. She hates me. So look at her.